What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Business Breakthrough. In this episode, I sit down with Freddy of Luxe Remodeling in Atlanta, Georgia, and we talk about a strategy to help him really get somewhere when it comes to growing his business. His passion is wanting to help his family, put them in a better position. So this Business Breakthrough was really special. I think he got a lot out of it, and I think if you're listening to this and you're in a position where you're looking to kind of grow, you're just starting out, I think this is a great episode for you to grab onto, and it starts right now. The big question you need to ask yourself every day is, do I own a job or do I own a business? And unfortunately, the majority of contractors out there own a job. That's right, they're a slave to their own business. But the other side of the fence is so much greener, it's so much better, and that's when you're finally fully in control of your destiny, your freedom, your time. And that's what Contractor Secrets is about. It's about taking back our time, building a business with systems, standards, values, procedures, putting yourself in the driver's seat. And that's what it's about. So I'm excited. I'm happy to have you here. Let's dive into the Contractor Secrets podcast. All right. So what's going on, everyone? I'm here with Freddy with Luxe Remodeling for a business breakthrough. Really, he's just starting out. You started in January, you said about January 14th when you started your business?
Correct.
Awesome, man. So what kind of services do you guys provide? When I hear remodeling, it kind of scares me because, I mean, there's so many different things you could be doing.
Correct. So no, we actually do break it down to our clients and everything, what type of services we do offer. Mostly the main like where we focus, it will be in the framing, carpentry, drywall, painting, and
Nice.
landscaping.
Wow. So landscaping too, huh?
Yeah, landscaping. Yes.
Wow.
I actually have a friend that he said, I want to do a landscaping business. I said, well, you know what? I'm a construction service company. So what we could go ahead and do is you try all your like plans and everything on my end, on my company, and you just build up your like clientele right there. And then if you love it and you see it goes good, then you could go ahead and do it on your own.
Gotcha. Yeah. So kind of using him as an extension of your business.
Yes, correct. It's a win-win.
So
I see it.
Is this your first business?
Correct. Yes, it is.
What did you do before this?
So I used to work in the music industry. I used to work with the record label Authentic Empire. I was doing sales and marketing with them.
Really?
Mostly working also getting consultations,
Any
like
popular artists that I would know, you think?
Fujiano.
Okay, I think I've heard of that. Okay.
Yeah, Gucci Mane's artist.
Oh, okay. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
So
you're in Atlanta.
I was over here. I'm over here and everything, and I was with them. But during with them, I was also doing business promotion for sign flyers over here in Atlanta, Georgia. They got two locations. They got one in Atlanta and they got one in California. So it's a very good business promotion company. We worked on yard signs, banners, T-shirts.
So you're taking your marketing mind and you're trying to bring it into the trades.
Correct.
So what got you into the trades?
So I come from like a Hispanic family, and my uncles, my dad, they're all construction people. But the thing that I didn't like is growing up, I always heard, we're going to get my dad a company. We're going to start my dad a company.
Right.
But it never, when no one ever pursued it.
No one ever did it.
So what I said, 2 years ago when I started my planning, kind of like thinking about it, I started like saying, what could I benefit off of this? What could I be used for in the business? Which would be like getting sales, going on with like communicating with the homeowners, those type of things. And I could have my family, my uncles and, friends, subcontractors, and they do all the labor work and everything, because I know professionally they're good at it.
They're solid.
Yes. And I've been.
So is that kind of is that how it's happening now? Is it working as you planned it?
Yeah, but we kind of had a little step back because I went too advanced in the beginning. I got too much jobs, and I kind of put too much expectations on my dad.
So you learned, hey, I gotta level this out a little bit.
Yeah, and kind of that's where I came to right now to like break down everything, to see where I should go on to about like expanding more and like exploding more.
So let's talk about your production, which I'm going to call your dad. How many people does he work with? How many people work for you right now, including your landscaper friend, including like how many at any given time do you have the ability to find work for?
Okay, so as of right now, under me, I only have 10 people. 10
Okay.
people.
So who are
And
those
that
10 people?
so the 10 people, it would be three of them are in my group, which are the ones that do carpentry, framing, drywall, and painting. You know, because my dad and my uncle and my cousin, they all specialize in
That's
all type
those
of
three,
remodeling.
right? Those
Mhm.
three are your dad, your uncle, and your cousin. Okay, so that's a group. And who are the other seven?
So it would be two. The other two would be my friend, the landscaper, which his name is Ricardo, and his friend David. So
So they
them
do
two are,
landscaping, right? So you have
yes.
three. Okay, because we're gonna take them out of the equation. So that leaves us five more. Where are the other five?
So I have one. I have my cousin with me, Gabriel. He does like sales. He helps me on that.
That's
Kind of like,
different. If he's, I just want production. So
okay,
he's out.
o-
Four.
okay, no. So for production, it would be. I have my sister. She helps me with material, like getting it
Okay,
to the job site and making
that's not
sure every.
production. So three.
Okay, okay, okay,
I
okay.
want people that can actually put their hands on the job and work.
Oh no, so that actually do the labor work,
Yeah.
it will only be seven. It
Okay, it
will
only be
only be
seven.
seven.
So you have your dad, your uncle, and your cousin. And then I don't really want to hear about the landscaping. Let's take them out of the equation, okay? Because right
Okay,
now, adding landscaping onto a remodeling business as early as you are into business, I know you can sell it. I know that you can do it, but let's just take them out of the equation just for this interaction right now so I can
absolutely,
focus in on the remodeling itself, okay? Because
absolutely.
let's just go there. So you have your dad, your cousin, and your uncle. So that's three. Who are the other two that can actually put their hands on painting, carpentry, framing, remodeling? Who are those other two?
So it will be Aldo and Jonathan, but they're not as full time as
Right.
the
So they
other
work
ones.
for someone else. You bring them in as needed, right?
Yes,
Does your dad, your cousin, and your uncle, do they all work together?
yes, they do in one group.
Okay. So they always work as a unit.
Hmm.
Okay. So the thing that I run into a lot with remodeling and when I hear this is the cash flow. Okay. Do you understand that concept? Cash flow? Would
Yeah,
you like
the
me to
cash flow.
elaborate? So essentially what that means is when cash comes in and cash goes out, you're not at a lapse. In other words, with remodeling, what I've learned is that the job times take pretty long, right? Sometimes 3 to 4 weeks. That really means that you have to continue to pay your labor, but you're not getting paid because the homeowner's job isn't getting done. So they're not giving you money. How are you handling that?
So and that's also one of the things that I was actually gonna plan out more is getting more money during the meantime. But I also do some little aside things where I'm also a soccer coach for
I don't want to
I9
hear that.
Sports.
I love that. I love that you're bringing in other revenue and please don't take offense, man. I just want to get to
Oh no, yeah, 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 absolutely.
I just want to, your energy's awesome. You're a phenomenal. I could tell, bro. You got it. Let's just get to the meat because that stuff doesn't matter to me. The landscaping doesn't matter to me. I just want to get right to that foundation all the way deep. And when I'm seeing right now, and I don't even need to know the whole story. What I'm seeing right now is that number one, you've got way too much going on right now. Okay. Early on in your business, you need to slow down. You need to slow down. You're probably excited, which I was too, bro. And I'm telling you from experience, because I used to say yes to everything, bro. I mean, if somebody want to drywall, yeah, my father can do it. Hey, if somebody want to tile, oh, I got my friend can do that. And you just want to say yes because you're getting sales and it's exciting, but it's driving everyone else nuts because your scheduling is probably really difficult to manage, I assume, right?
Yeah,
Is it
I
stressing you
I'm
out
not gonna
trying
lie.
to figure out when? First of all, you're probably dealing with materials that are all over the place. So you're probably having to go to Home Depot for this. You're probably having to go somewhere else for that and probably trying to coordinate the pickups for all these materials, right? And then budgeting for the materials is something that you're learning, aren't you?
Yeah, correct.
And you're probably not entirely sure about, what framing costs and all these things because you're learning. You have to be still learning. I mean, you just started. So how's that working in terms of your pricing when you get in front of somebody and they want you to rip out this and rip out that? Like, how long is it taking you to actually present a proposal to somebody? Is it taking you a while to kind of figure out what those materials cost? Are you having to bring your dad in to kind of get some guidance? Like, how's all that working?
So I actually sometimes bring Jonathan. He's my
Okay,
cousin, and we talk about it fully through. And while we're talking about it right there, he's on the phone looking on Home Depot exactly some materials,
good.
and
So you have
we
some
talk
guidance
about
there.
we talk about to the homeowner mostly like what type of material he will use, because I tell the homeowner, I'm like, I'm gonna be honest, this could be a cheap project or it could be a very expensive depending on the type of material we use. If we go ahead and go with especially now that the prices are skyrocketing on lumber, on basically everything, I try to be transparent with them and tell them it's gonna take a little bit of time, like probably like 4 hours for me to exactly detail everything. And I use Go Canvas to exactly break down the material list that will be
Got it.
needed, the quality, the quantity, and how much it will cost.
Got it.
So
So
that
so that's good. I just wanted to make sure you had someone there kind of, and is he on payroll, your cousin? Are you paying him too?
yeah, he's on Square payroll.
Okay, he's on payroll, and are you paying him hourly? Because is he part-time or full-time?
No, he's part-time. I only pay him hourly. I pay him at $15 an hour,
When
and
you
he only
need him, you
works.
bring him in. Got it. Okay, so let's talk about this because I want you to understand this concept really quick. Okay, you own a remodeling company. Okay, and you said to me that there's been a little bit of a wall that you hit with your dad, right? Is it because you're kind of having him do jobs, and then are you taking him off of jobs and then putting him somewhere else to start another job? And then tell me what the issue was that you were running into.
So it's kind of gonna get a little bit little personal, because my dad, he has suffered from heart problems.
Okay.
So during that time I wasn't really aware. He didn't speak about it, didn't mention anything about it. So with me, having the mentality like, go 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 go
Yeah.
go, he's not on that mentality yet. So I put him on a lane where he had to catch up to me without me really checking up on him, which messed it up because my worker is number one, but I didn't treat it like number one. So I didn't put his mentality, like his mental health in like I didn't think about it. So what happened there is, by me giving him a lot of jobs and him finishing, he didn't really have a break.
He didn't have a
And
break
and
because you're relying heavily on his abilities, right?
yes,
So let me break that down before I give you the advice that I want to give you. Okay. The first thing is I'm sure your dad's very important to you, right? I mean, you're probably doing this for him mostly to give him a legacy, help him out. You guys are working hand in hand. I think that's really cool, man. Number one, his most important asset that he has is not his hands, it's his mind. Okay. He's got the knowledge, right? So he can go up to pretty much any situation in a house and understand the dynamics of what needs to be done. So what you really have there is a project manager, okay? A manager. He doesn't need to be working with his hands that much. He just is your eyes in the field. Do you know how much of a luxury that is for a business owner to have somebody like that who can oversee production? Isn't that cool? I mean, that's
yeah,
pretty good. He doesn't need to be working with these things, man. And you should pretty much build your business with that in mind, man. You should be able to build another team and say, "Hey, Dad, I need you to go check on this job and check on this job." So instead of him breaking his body down, he's now using his mind to, and he'll jump in. He probably loves to work, but it won't be him doing all the physical labor. You can pay someone to do that, and you can pay
correct,
them to be taught by him. Okay, does that make sense? I mean, I just want you to see that he's a project manager in my eyes. He's
correct.
not a laborer, and it's up to you to create that system. Number two, bro, this is the most important advice I can give you right now, bro, because I love your energy. You're gonna be successful, but you got to slow down. With a remodeling company, again, it scares me, man, because you can come in and you could have somebody say, "I want new cabinets," and you would say yes. They would come in and say, "I want you to knock down a wall." You would say yes. They would, "Hey, I want you to install this flooring." Would you say yes?
No, not flooring, not flooring
Not
yet.
flooring. You won't do flooring. Okay. But let's say, what are some other things that you said that you do? Drywall repair, right?
Yeah, like I'm not even gonna lie. Just the only thing I wouldn't do is flooring because it's of the time that people do it and everything. And
Yeah, it's the order of operations. Got it.
correct.
So, but where I'm getting at is that there's probably 5 or 6 different things that you would do if someone asked you to do it, correct?
All at once, yes, accepted
All at
all at
once.
once.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
All right. Right then and there is a major issue because you haven't perfected one thing yet. And that in itself is scary to me because, again, scheduling gets kind of crazy when you have all those different things. Your team gets burnt out, like what you're experiencing with your dad. Because guess what? You plug someone else in, they're going to have that same demand. Okay. But if your dad's doing remodeling one day with ripping out and demolishing something, then he's got to do framing, and then he's got to hang drywall, then he's got to do painting. Dude, that's exhaustion. All those different trades that need to be done. Okay. So your job as a business owner, you're going from a marketer to a business owner now, where you've got to literally look out for the well-being of the people that come to work for you every day. And I think the best thing you could do is create a box. Okay. And that box is, hey, you need to do this task and this task only. What I suggest that you do is pick one task. That's it. Just one, and do it for 6 months and only do that task. My suggestion is to do painting. And marketing for painting is the easiest in the industry, bro. It is.
Correct.
I mean, it's the easiest. And those 3 guys can paint. It's easy on your dad. Okay. He can roll walls if you have to have him roll walls. But just do one trade. That's it. That doesn't mean that you can't expand to do other things, bro. I'm not saying that you can't. I'm saying just do one thing. There's enough work for any of those things that you do to keep you busy every single day. You understand? Like, because reality is people aren't getting this advice and they're doing exactly what you're doing. Everyone, there's no you need to be a specialist. And I would think that you should have this conversation with your dad and ask him, hey, what would you think if we just did painting for 6 months? Does he like to paint?
He hates painting.
He hates painting.
he hates it.
Good.
See,
and that's even better. But
thing,
listen, let me make one more point and then you can go. But that's actually probably even better because the goal is to get him out of the actual physical labor, right? There you go. So if you actually put him in a position where he actually can't, or he doesn't want to, but he has to oversee and he has to make sure that jobs are running smooth. That doesn't mean that you can't create add-ons to painting for him, like crown molding. Can he install crown molding?
Yeah, he could trim all that. Yeah.
Install trim so he can come in and repair rotting wood that needs to be repaired. So he can still use his hands and still feel like he's contributing. But what you're doing is you're building a system. And I use this analogy a lot. And it's kind of like if you were an investor of a franchise or some sort of chain, they have a system in place for a reason. If you go to Starbucks, you're not going to be able to order a filet mignon. And those listening, I use this analogy all the time because it's polar opposites to coffee. You go to Starbucks for coffee, light snacks, and you get out. And that's the same thing customers need to come to you for. They come to you for one thing that you're really good at, and then they get out, and then you go to the next customer. Right now with remodeling, bro, your cash flow, you shouldn't have to be supplementing your business with other things. That's not how it works. The business should be paying for all the expenses of that business within itself. And with painting, you can knock out jobs 3 days, 4 days, done, all in one shot. You don't have to wait for materials. You don't have to wait for different trades to come in to do plumbing, waiting for you to do drywall. Have you ran into that yet? Where you have to get a plumber in or you have to get an electrician in, and then you can get started. Have you hit that wall yet?
Yeah, where for a basement downstairs that we had to do the wiring before we.
So you, in other words, you could not get paid until someone else came in that you have no control over, right?
Yeah,
pretty much. Okay. So what do you think about that direction?
So no, that's actually something that I need to hear because one thing to reflect on about I actually try to talk to my dad in the beginning of what he want to do, but he's so hard-headed that he doesn't want to stop working. Him and my mom, they love being hands-on, but love like saying, I wish I could stop working, but they don't want to stop working.
Okay. So, but because and this is important that you also need to know as a business owner, you've got to not only be a salesperson to your clients, but you have to be a salesperson to the people around you. Does that make sense?
Correct.
So in other words, when it comes to your family, you've got to say, hey, listen, this is our plan. This is why we're doing this. and you've got to pretty much plead your case. And it's the same thing when you hire employees. Hey, why should I work for you? You've pretty much got to sell why you're a great opportunity for somebody to leave where they are to come work for you. So you've got to master that skill of pretty much helping people understand, hey, this is the direction we're going in. And if your parents, that's going to be difficult, but you can still do it. I mean, you're leading this charge here, man, for your family. I love it. But it's ultimately like somebody's got to have the ultimate direction. Your dad has been looking down for a long time. And by that, I mean, he's just looking down, and he doesn't have the big picture as a technician. That's what they call it. I suggest you read a book called The E-Myth. It'll help you understand these concepts. Very good book. So the reason I'm saying this is because ultimately, you ran into an issue with your father. He's got heart problems. Time's ticking on what he's able to do in terms of how much work he can produce with his hands.
Correct.
So you've got to create a system for him that allows him to contribute, but doesn't allow him to break his neck. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Go. You do actually have a 100% point, and that's where I was thinking about it and everything. But I needed more advice to see exactly which way to go, because I listened to your podcast and everything, and look, honestly, it's something that amazes me how some people underestimate just the power of someone else telling them where to go and everything and what it could lead to. And for me, that's one of the reasons why I also started a business for my family. And that's the main reason why, because I also got a younger brother right now. He's incarcerated, and I want to help him out, so I want to
create an opportunity for him when he comes out, right?
Correct. And wow. and I'm glad that it happened right now in the beginning of it, instead of later on in the later on when some years already and we're more bigger and I hit harder. Wow. So honestly, the way I feel about this is that I really needed to hear this. And the thing about just sticking to one thing for right now, that's absolutely right.
Well, let me help you understand what's going to happen though. Okay. Because there's another side to this. If it were that easy to just stick with one thing, everybody would do it. Right. So the thing about it is number one, I need you to understand this. You don't need to take landscaping jobs. I think what you have on the side is your friend kind of piggybacking on you. He probably wants to start his own gig. That's going to take away from you focusing on the 3 people that you have. Don't worry about those 2 people that are part-timers. Don't worry about the landscaper. You just need to make sure that the 3 people, your father, your cousin, and your uncle, have work every single week. Paint jobs. Okay. That's all you need to focus on, bro. 3 people should be able to produce about 7,000 worth of revenue in a week. Okay. In your area. I know your area. I know that it should be between 5,000 and 7,000. Okay. That's about $28,000 a month on the high end. That's pretty good, right?
Yes.
In revenue. Okay. So that's what they should be able to produce. And what you should be doing is actively trying to find one more person to work alongside them. Now that seems pretty easy for you. That person who's helping you do the pricing. Well, guess what? He needs to become a helper. So he understands the game. So you need to be staffing him with your father, your cousin, and your uncle to be a helper, picking up trash, plastic. There's not enough room for him to be paid just to accompany you on estimates. I mean, that's your job. There's not enough money on the table to just be paying somebody to come alongside you. So he needs to be earning money and build and creating value if he wants to work with you. I don't know who this person is, but it sounds like he's important to you, right?
Yes, he is.
And you want to keep him busy. So essentially, it's your brother?
No, my cousin.
Your cousin. So he's another cousin, right?
Not Jonathan.
He's okay.
No, Jonathan is different.
Can you see him working alongside your father and your cousin and your uncle?
Yeah, he has done some jobs and everything, but mostly because he goes to college. So
that's all we need, though. That's all you need. But I think what you need to understand is that the team of 4 can get a lot of work done. Okay, but let me tell you the other side. It'll be 4 after you add him. You know what I'm saying? So let me just tell you the other side of the coin, because again, if it were that easy to have just every job be paint jobs, everybody would do it, and we wouldn't even be talking, because you'd be perfectly fine. The reason people take on all sorts of work is because they run out of paint jobs. They run out of leads that want paint jobs. Does that make sense? Correct. So in other words, like if you have no work and somebody comes across you and says, hey, I want my bathroom remodeled, what are you going to do? You're going to have to take the bathroom remodel, and that deviates you from painting. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right.
It takes you away from it.
It's going to take you away. That time that you're spending doing the bathroom remodel could be better spent doing the painting. Either way, that's up to you as a marketer. Is you've got to create predictable marketing. In other words, you've got to make sure that you're getting paint job leads. Okay. My recommendation, especially early on in your business, did you ever hear a company called Home Advisor or Angie?
I did. I I haven't tried it, but I am gonna try it because I heard the podcast of why and everything, and I heard about it is mostly because it all comes to the mentality of how you use it and how you plan the things out on Home Advisor. So some people they just take on opportunities, take on, take on, take on, take on,
Yes.
take on,
Why
and
I
that's
like
where
them is because we can narrow down exactly the type of lead that we want. People that want interior and exterior paint jobs. That's it. That's the only thing you ask them for. Okay. And then my recommendation is to have a company like this, Dripjobs. It's a software that follows up with them automatically, because that's going to be the issue. Is you get a new lead, maybe you're busy, you don't follow up, and then that person is, they're not
gone.
engaged as much. So like what we do is we follow up with leads automatically, instantly, and that just allows you to capitalize on that money you're spending. But even if you don't use that, again, get with a company like Home Advisor, Angie, Thumbtack, anyone that can tell you, hey, these are the type of jobs that these people want. There's nothing that's ever been like this. So like for you, if the goal is to niche down, which really means just picking one thing and getting really, really good at it, bro, your life will change. Okay. Be the best at one thing. Get the pricing down, get the procedure down, get the system down so you can optimize, right? So you can start going to paint jobs and saying, okay, that's going to take my team of 4, 3 days to do. You can price it for 3 days, and then you can see how much money you're going to make, instead of, I don't know how long that kitchen remodel is going to take. You probably have no clue how much money you're making at all, because it's just so hard to job cost things like that. But when you have a
Absolutely.
predictable business, then you can easily say, hey, I'm going to make this much on this job. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's kind of where I come from. I mean, ultimately, again, you can remodel, you can do all the different things, but bro, for your father's sake, for your sanity, you need to pick one for 6 months. What was it now? August, September, October, November, December, January, February, bro. You should try your best to not take anything but painting. When you get that system tight, then you take on other things. Then you add a landscaping division. Then you add on those things. But you just have no system yet. You need to create one.
Correct. Absolutely. So yeah, definitely I will be planning our system and being more effective on it,
Yeah.
because like you said, when we get into the zone of accepting so much, there's so little that we could do because we're limiting ourselves now, and the biggest factor is the time. So if I'm over here, I can't be over there. So
Right.
absolutely, follow getting a system and everything, that's absolutely true and everything. And I just need to sit down with all my people, exactly say our vision, what our goal is, and like
That's what
focus on
leaders
one thing.
do, man. The leaders create the vision, bro. And not only do they create the vision, they sell the vision. That's the key, man. Some people just create a vision, but you got to sell your belief in the vision. Just like I'm selling you on this side. That's all I'm doing right now is I'm selling
Yeah.
you on this idea. I'm pretty much giving you an idea. I'm giving you a vision, and I'm telling you why it's a good vision to adopt. And now you got to take that vision. You've got to enact that vision by creating the system, maybe drawing it out. And then you got to sell that vision to the people that come to work for you every day. That's how you do it. And essentially, they got to believe it so much that they actually adopt it as their vision for your company. And ultimately, since it's your father and your mother, their company, everyone's working together. I love the why behind what you're doing. Okay. And a powerful why is something that's going to take you beyond the average individual who's just starting a business to make money. Okay. We know that. So ultimately, you need to be really serious about this, because this could change your life. You know that,
Absolutely.
right? I mean, a good solid business that's generating a ton of money and your family's happy. Your dad has a new truck and he's driving around checking on jobs, calling you saying, hey, everything's going well, and you're out selling. I mean, look, you're smiling now because you can
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah, of course, of
You
course.
know what I'm saying? You want that. Everybody wants that. But the reality is that, the sure path to getting there is in a straight line. Right now in your business, you're going this way. You're going wide. You're doing everything. You're not going straight. You need to go straight, right to perfecting one thing. Okay. And that's my advice to you, bro. I think if you take that and run with it, you'll be successful.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, and that's why I'm the type of person that even if I had to step out a little bit by reaching out to someone like you to
Yeah,
tell
man.
me, because you have spoken with so many business owners,
A
and I'm
lot,
not
bro.
just the only
Yeah.
one. I'm not just the only one.
Yeah.
And like, like something that I love is, making myself uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And because it helps me grow. So
It's
who
hard,
knows
man.
if I would have not reached out to you, on Friday, and schedule this, who knows if I would have actually changed, like, in the future, I would have probably still been doing the same thing as I'm doing now
Yeah.
next year. So I honestly, like, these type of things are the things that help me as a person, because either way, it's things that I could have changed in the beginning. It's better to get them done right now and
Yeah.
change them right now than
That's
to
awesome,
regret
man.
later on.
Love that. And all I want to do is get you from where you are to where you're
I
going
want
to
to be.
be quicker. All I want to do is just save you all the time, bro. And I'm just saving you time because I've experienced it. I wasted the time. I used to take on tile. I remember there's a picture of me way deep into my camera roll, dude, of me with a jackhammer thing, removing tile. And we were there for 3 days removing tile. We were using the wrong bit. I priced it so low. It was a mess. And that was all I needed to remember. Stick with what I'm good at, perfect what I'm good at. And from there, I've never looked back. So, I appreciate the kind words, man. I think we should connect again in a couple months. And I'd love to hear how things have changed for you. I'm sure you'll message me and we can go back and forth. But you got this, man. I believe in you for sure.
No, I really do appreciate that, and I'll most definitely stay in touch because, like I said, being that little uncomfortable is what makes me
Yeah,
grow in the
no, it's
future. So
growth, man. It's hard to take advice, but you know what? The people who actually step out and can take it, and not saying that my advice is the best advice, but it's just
no,
I like to say that it's a perspective. And sometimes we need to look, even me, if somebody came in and told me that I need to do something different, you got to be willing to listen. And you don't have to take it and run with it, but it's going to give you some thoughts that might alter some things that you're doing. But I think this one for you, I think you're going to run with it, and I think it's going to work.
oh yeah, no, I feel like with this advice, me fully sitting down, just self-discipline
Yeah,
and
man.
just doing it,
So
it's
get
gonna
the
hit
so
home, hit
get the
home.
sales right. What I'm gonna do for you for jumping on, man, I'm gonna give you my sales course for painting for free. So I'm gonna send that to you after this, so you can actually look and see how to estimate paint jobs, how to look, what you need to say, how to approach the customer. So I will send that to you free of charge, man.
Man, I really do appreciate that, and man, look, you honestly, you even though some things we don't like hearing, we need people like you to continue,
Thank you, bro.
hopping on with us and breaking everything down with
Yes,
us, because
sir.
you wake us up and everything. So I really
Yeah,
do
man. I
appreciate your
got you,
time,
bro.
man.
Thank you, man. It was a pleasure meeting you, Fred. Take care, bro.
Likewise, you have a wonderful day.
You too, man. Hey, I just want to take a second to thank you for joining me here on the Contractor Secrets podcast. I'm just going to take this opportunity to let you know that my passion is coaching people, helping people. I've changed my Instagram name to @contractorcoach. And I did that because that is my passion. I want to help you. So please reach out to me. If you have an issue going on in your business, send me an email. Find me on Instagram, message me, and let's do a breakthrough session. I want to work through your problems in your business to help you get to that next level. And one thing that I always say is this, the difference between those that get over the humps and the hurdles in business is just a change in perspective. And that's what I plan to offer you. So get with me, message me, allow me to help you take your business to the next level.